Hey guys, welcome back to my kitchen. It's Peter. Today I'm going to show you how I prepare one of my family's probably #1 all-time favorite dishes in the world, spaghetti and meatballs. We have this for dinner every single New Year's Eve. My 2 boys love it, my wife loves it, and it makes great leftovers the next day. You can also use this and have it as an hors d'oeuvre for a dinner party or a happy hour. So the first thing we're going to do here is get started on the sauce, and then we'll make the meatballs. So come on, let's get started. Here I have 2 cans of 28-ounce San Marzano Italian tomatoes. I prefer these. They're the sweetest, tastiest. As you can see, it's very silky, and there aren't any seeds in. I took these, put them in the food processor, and strained them to get all the seeds out. That's the first step. Then I have 5 cloves of whole garlic, some basil, and 1 onion that's cut in half. A 1/4 cup of olive oil in here, heating up in the pot. And then I'm going to throw in my whole garlic cloves. Okay, I'm going to move these garlic cloves around. I don't want them to burn, so I'm going to move them around and just do this for about 30 seconds to a minute. You can obviously chop these up if you want. I like to just extract the flavor from them and put them in here whole. Now I'll add just a couple of chili flakes. So right when the garlic starts to caramelize, before it gets a little too brown, I'm going to add my sauce. Then I'll add a pinch of brown sugar. I'm going to add my basil whole, and then I'm going to take the onions, the 1 onion, and I'm going to put it in just like this. I'm going to add a little bit of pepper. I'll add a little bit of salt. I'm doing this at a medium temperature right now, and right when it starts to bubble and boil around the edges, that's when I'll stir it up and turn it down to a medium simmer. And this should go for about 30 to 40 minutes. It's a quick sauce, nice and simple, just a few ingredients, but man, it's super tasty. First thing I'll do is I'll take the milk and mix it with the breadcrumbs. What I did with these is I took some bread, sliced it up into thin slices, toasted it on each side for a few minutes in the oven, and then let it sit in there until it got a little crispy. And then I put it in a food processor and mixed it up, broke it up like this. So you can use store-bought breadcrumbs or whatever kind of breadcrumbs you have on hand, or like this. I like to make my own instead of wasting the bread. So let this rest for about 10 minutes, and then let's get started on the other things. That's been sitting for 10 minutes now, so let's season our meat. Some salt, and then we'll put some pepper. And then everything else is pretty simple. We'll just add, we have 3 cloves of chopped up garlic. We have about a 1/4 cup of parsley, teaspoon of fresh rosemary. We have 2 eggs that we beat a little bit. Then we have about a cup of fresh Parmesan cheese. And then we have our breadcrumbs. So we'll mix that all together, and we'll add about a 1/4 cup of olive oil. This will keep the meatballs nice and moist. You have all that flavor from the herbs and the garlic and the cheese. So those eggs will bind all this together along with the cheese. So we'll roll these out, form these into balls, put them on lined cookie sheet, and then I bake mine. I don't fry these. I bake them at about 450 degrees for about 10 to 15 minutes until they turn brown. And then I throw them in the sauce. And we'll take, like I said, about the size of a golf ball. You can make them bigger or smaller, however you want. If you're having a cocktail party, you probably want to make them a little bit smaller. And you don't want to squeeze them and get them too tight, just nice and easy. And we'll line them like that. Again, I'm just doing them gently in my hands like that, like soft little pillows. So we finished putting all of our meatballs together, and we got about 15 of the same size meatballs, so that's great. The oven's preheating at 450. I'll bake these, like I said, for about 10 to 15 minutes until they turn brown, and I'll let them rest for a moment and then put them into the sauce. As you can see, they're brown on the top. You don't want to overcook them because you're going to put them in the pot with the tomato sauce and they're going to cook some more. But another way to tell besides the top is to turn over the bottom. Look at that. That's how they should look. And they're still nice and tender and fluffy. Look at all those herbs and the cheese oozing out of that. So we're going to let these sit here for a little bit, then we'll put them into the sauce. But they smell incredible. Oh yeah, look at that texture. Look at that. Look how silky smooth that is. No seeds. Nice. So again, we'll take our onion, put it in our juicer, and squeeze all that juice out. Look at that. Get all that juice. I want my sauce to stay kind of creamy like that. I don't want a lot of chunks. That's why I put in the whole garlic cloves, and now I'm just going to take the onion out and just keep the juice. All right, so our meatballs are done. I let them rest for a little bit. I turned them all over because I want you to see what that backside looks like. Look, they're crispy and tender. Look at that. So I'll put all these in the sauce and we'll be ready to eat. Okay, so we have all of our meatballs in our sauce. Have our sauce on low simmer right now, so it's bubbling a little bit. So now everything is all marrying together and we'll be ready to eat. So I'm going to take one of these out and plate it up for you guys and let you see what it looks like on the inside. But it smells incredible. And then I'm going to put just a little bit of Parmesan over the top to finish it off. And then let's give it a try. Look at that. Look at that cheese still melting right there. Get some sauce on there. Delicious. Again, this is one of those meals you can use for cocktail parties or Sunday dinner like we're having today. Take your time. Use the freshest ingredients you can, and look at that. Bon appetit, guys.